The sculpture is done and it's ready for mold. Silicone, I had to readjust the cheek lines. I kind of let everybody know that last night while I was live, but I worked on it all day to get today to smooth it out and perfect the cheek lines. Let me see what else I got here. Well, look at that down. Look at that down shot. Oh yeah, man. We got ourselves a nice piece here. This is going to be nice. Oh yeah. What's up, man? Yeah, this is done. I just have to, I'm going to be siliconing this bad boy. I had to realign the cheek lines. I somehow screwed up the angle on the cheek lines. This here, they were too shallow. They were like up in here. They weren't lined up. So but I'll tell you what I am doing. I'm selling my, because I think it's going to be really hard to keep up with this mask. So I am going to sell blanks, but the eye holes will be cut out. Nobody will be able to foam fill this and copy it. But I am going to make blanks and sell the blanks. So the blanks will probably go for like $250. I can make custom order. Yeah, I could do a custom order. But not as far as a custom sculpt. What's up, Silverado? So I'm finished. I had to realign the cheek lines. They weren't set back far enough. In other words, they were from the nose to where the check mark is, right at the very peak down. It wasn't deep enough, so it's hard to explain. I didn't have the cheek lines set right. They were too shallow. So I had to make that adjustment, and when I made that adjustment, I had to adjust the lips as well, and the front of the face. But now, I think the lips are spot on to the screen used mask. There it is right there. Yeah, this is going to be a really nice piece. Be well worth the wait. Anybody that gets this mask are going to be lucky. They're going to love it. They're going to love this thing when it's done. And I am going to sell blanks because I think it'll be next to impossible to keep up with. I don't want to wait. I don't want to put people on a waiting list of 6 months. I heard that that's what happens to a lot of these mask makers. They end up with a 6 month backlog, and sometimes a year, depending on who it is. So, it's just tough. It's really tough. So last night I was live and I was explaining how I had to make the adjustments on the sculpture. And I made the adjustments. When I changed the cheek line, I also had to fix the eye cuts. And I made the slants a little deeper from the top of the eye cut. The bottom of the eye cuts never changed. And what I had to do was when I cut those slants a little deeper on the corners of the eyes, on the top of the eye cuts, what I had to do was shave it down to meet the bottom at the same point of where it was. And once I shaved it down, I've got a perfect slant, and I also have the exact same eye cut size. The eye cut size is no different. Boy, that slant's on the money now. The eye cut looks so good. What do you guys think of this? Now the cheek lines are lined up right. What's your thoughts? Tell me what you guys think of this sculpture now. I think it's spot on myself. I really do. And I mean, if you're talking about, it's such a small. I'll tell you what the difference is. I think the size of the sculpture is a lot bigger than the actual. Um, but I think I have this thing really nailed. I do. I mean, there's the screen used right over here. Now this is painted, so it's hard to really get that look. Um, but real quick, boom. Got to catch it at the right angle too. That's about where. That's about that picture right there. The camera angle is so important when you're taking a shot. If you're trying to match the camera angle of that picture there, the camera's up above, like probably right around the hairline, up higher, shooting down on the mask just a little bit. And my sculpture has a natural slant to it because I had to cut the slant into the. So that's about right there. So. Yeah, I think this is a really nice sculpture. I think we gotta, I'm sorry, I'm holding the, and it's making it jump all over the place. All right, what's going on? Slipknot. Hey, man. Been a while. Yeah, I'm excited for this. This thing's gonna make me a few bucks. And I think, like I just got done saying a little when I first came on that I'm going to sell blanks for 250. 250, and you can buy a blank and then you can send it off to whoever you want to paint it. You can have me paint it, which is probably going to be a $600 mask when it's all said and done. Um, Paint it and hair it, 5 to 600. I'm trying not to kill people, but at the same time, I have a funny feeling I'm going to have a hard time keeping up with these, and I don't like having a backlog for months and months and months. I don't want that. I don't. I'd like to, honestly, I'd like to do the orders as fast as I can, and not have more than a 2 week wait. That's my goal, because what if something happens to me physically where, I'm 62 years old now. So if I get sick or something goes on where I have to go in the hospital or I'm laid up for a while and I can't do the masks, um, I don't want to have people, I don't want a waiting list for a mask that's 6 months long, because holy God, that would be torture if I was like got laid up. I'm having problems with my hips, so I may be dealing with hip replacement. I don't know for sure, but we're going to find out. And that's a long recovery. But I'm trying to get to this point where these are going to be not stone molds, they're going to be resin molds, so I can slush cast them, and I won't have to lift anything real heavy. The plastic molds are really, yo, go dogs, what's happening? This is the finished V2 flash. V2 stands for, well, V2, the version 2. It's the FB78.
I'll see you later.
All right, I'll see you. I'll call you in a little bit. Anyway, yeah, this is the V2. I'm still working on the chin just a little bit more because it looks like that deep cut right above on the left-hand side is a little too deep and not smooth enough. It just needs a little bit of clay in there is all. Not too much. Just little things, but this is pretty much finished. And every time I film it or take a picture, here's what happens. You take a picture of it. You take pictures from every angle. And you see something wrong almost every time, and you have to fix it. And I'm a perfectionist, and that's what I do. I try to fix it. What's this, Silverado? So everyone is making version 2. Why is that? Did some of the Chris Nelson pictures? Yeah, well, we learned a little more. We see some more pictures. I actually, up here, I have a book that really revealed a lot. This picture right here, I'll show you the book. And anybody that's interested in this book, shit, hold on. I buried it. Anybody that's interested in getting this book, it's on eBay. It's on Amazon, and this is. I can't read it on this phone. Okay, it says Halloween: The Official Making of Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. It has everything in there. It has pictures of the mask. It has pictures of it as it was being made. Like, this revealed a lot for me, and a lot going on. So with this book, let me show you. Let me see if I can find any of this stuff. I can't. Or can I? Hold on. Yes, I have just enough room. Hold on. This book has a lot of nice pictures. And a lot of, it tells you a lot of how they did the effects. Some good, here's some pictures of Dr. Loomis and the makeup job that they did on that. Here's some of the masks. There's that picture. There's a screen used. I love that. I love that angle of that mask. And this is, I think, this is the Kills mask or the Ends, one of the two. But these give you a lot of detail. This gives you what you really, It's a great book. I still have not read it yet. I haven't had time to read it. I'm going to read it. Man, I wish this book was available. Mr. JT, what's happening, JT? What's happening? I'm working on I finished my sculpture. I still got a little bit of work to do around the chin area, but this is the flashback, and that's supposed to be the flashback. That's the screen used flashback right there, and that's supposed to replicate that flashback mask. And I have it pretty spot on. A lot of people think that this is gonna be the go-to mask to grab when this is in production in the next couple. I want to say about a month. It's going to take me a month because I have to do shred. This is a big sculpture. That's 27 inches, 27 inches or 28 inches in diameter, and you measure the tape measure across the scale and around the back of the head to the furthest point, and around the diameter is like 27 inches. So Joe Thorber, what's happening, buddy? No, I guess you changed your. That's right. You did tell me you did change your name. I'm just going to take a while to get used to it. Won't get off. Well, go dogs. It's just. I think the movie was. It's just better. The movie in general is a better movie than these new movies. I still swear by the first one and two. Nick Castle really didn't play Michael Myers. If you listen to he actually tells you that I didn't actually play Michael Myers. I just put a suit on, put this mask on, and walked around and killed people. or stalked people. He didn't really do a lot, but it's it was his natural ability to actually that John Carpenter liked the way he walked. You know, he was graceful or something, and he thought that's perfect. You know, that's who he wants to play Michael Myers. But anyway, Nick Castle says it in his own interview, where I have to give credit to, yeah, the stalking is perfect. And here's the one thing that all these movies missed. These new, like Halloween 2018, kills and ends, they did not give the killer's perspective. Even if you do a back shoulder shot, I don't think there was any of that in any of those movies where it was actually stalking somebody from a back shoulder shot. Everything was like, there's Michael right in camera frame, and it takes that element away from the scare. The stalking is what, I'll tell you, my cousins were with me in 1978 when we saw the movie in the theater, actually in October. And I remember it was Mischief Night. We went to the theater because it was funny. On the screen, it said October 30th, 1978. And I kind of yelled, not yelled, but I said to my cousins, I said, wow, cool, that's tonight. You know, because it was October 30th on the screen when it was raining, and Dr. Loomis and the nurse were driving, and all the patients were wandering around in the yard. It said October 30th, 1978. And I thought, wow, cool, that's tonight. So, better lock our doors, I said to her. Anyway, stalking is just so perfect. Yeah, I just don't think you're ever going to beat. Now, the problem with the movie now is it's not very scary anymore. You know, there's too many movies out there that have kind of really dulled you down to, but it's still a cool movie. It's still a cool character. I love Michael Myers. I love the mask. I love the way Nick Castle played him. James Jude Courtney. Why I give him credit more is because he replicated Nick Castle. He copied what Nick Castle did naturally. And he did it with a little bit more, just more power, more balls to the character. The new stuff turned the shape into Jason. Not well. Yeah, no. I want to say Jason. Jason was methodic. He was kind of like very robotic. He would kill and then turn his attention to something else and go that direction. Michael didn't do that. He'd stalk his prey. He'd tease the prey, and then he would mess with them and then kill them. You know, he was brutal when he finally did start to kill them, but he played with his food, so to speak, and that's the difference between Jason and Michael Myers. Jason was just ravage. He just saw a target, killed it, went to the next target, killed it, went to the next target. You know, creatively, you know, but wouldn't be cool if he was killing with everybody with the same tools. You know. So anyway, so this is the V2. I'll show you, I'll turn it around so you guys can see the back. Yeah, look at this down shot. Look how perfect his lips are. See, that's the screen used right there. That's a really wide face. It's just because of the, but yeah, that's the screen used sculpture right there. And my sculpture's right on the money, baby. It is really, really close. All right, so I'm going to show you what the back of the mask says. V270 FB78 custom corpses. Now, all that's going to be under the hair so you won't see it. I took away that big logo on the bottom um, because I thought, you know what, with a collectors really don't like to see any kind of logos sticking out. What is that? They don't like seeing those logos sticking out. Yeah, well, I mean, I just think that he's only going to kill so many ways, and you can't. How do you sell it? I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, he did. James Drew gave a lot of respect to Nick, but and yo, Red Row, what's happening, buddy? I'm just revealing the finished sculpture, and it does look good on film, on camera, on pictures. I'll turn it around. Look at this down shot. That is money, baby. That is money. That is a really cool mask. Gonna be a cool mask. Can't wait to get this in production. Yeah, let's take it from the angle. The angle shot's the best. That really gives you that authentic look. I finally got the lips and the chin perfect. Have a little bit of adjustment to do right in this little corner, right in this corner here. It looks like it's a little, I don't know, it just got to be filled in a little bit right there, right on that edge. But detail is it, and if you don't have the details in perfect, you're not going to sell this mask. This mask is really tough to achieve. It really is. It's really difficult. Just when you think you're at the finish line, all of a sudden you see something else. And you're always going, God, how did I miss that? Why did I do it? Because I'm a big stickler when it comes to angles. I keep saying it on my videos. Make sure you pay attention to your angles and your pitches. All your pitching and all your angles have to be correct. And I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. Hold on, I'll zoom out. We got to stay zoomed in a little bit. All right. You notice the pitch of this pitch here matches this pitch, matches this pitch. All right. The pitches all have to be right. Then the depth of your cuts have to be right. Your cheek line, this little cheek here, this comes to an end. If you turn this sideways, it's literally right underneath the outer edge of the eye cut. That means it's giving you depth. All right. And that was actually what was wrong with the sculpture. And that's why I had to change it yesterday. Actually, what day was it? It was Sunday. No. Today Monday? Yeah, today's Monday. It was Saturday. I came home after Saturday night at like 1 o'clock in the morning. No, I got done early on Saturday. Thank God. But I got done, and I came right in the room and started working on it. But I did notice the problem right before I went to work on Saturday, and I went, "Oh my God, how stupid! I can't believe I missed this." And I was like, and you're preaching on here all the time. Pay attention to your angles. Pay attention to your depth. Pay attention to all those little things. And sure as hell, I somehow, some way, got sidelined and completely screwed that up. But it wasn't a really hard fix. But it did make me adjust the lips and the chin and everything once I made those setbacks on the cheeks on both sides. It was just the cheeks. The face looked too flat. That's what happened. The face looked flat. Also, other news, guys. My intention with the channel, I'm going to be doing more shorts. I'm probably going to do extremely short sculpting videos, but not so much. I'm going to do lives, but not so much doing any work, because every time I do a live and I start doing the work, I like your input and everything, but at the same time, I have to focus and work. I can't pay attention to text messages and or watching the text feed and really pay attention to what I'm doing. The problem is what happens is if I take my focal point off of what I'm doing when I'm sculpting, and start reading a bunch of messages, and all of a sudden I get back to it and I forget where I was at. I missed something, and that's where I think I really screwed up those cheeks because I forgot about I didn't follow my own rules on depth and angles. So that's where I screwed it up. And I went, oh, you dumb. And I can bet you it was mostly because I was, doing a live when I was at the point where I knew I had to do it and forgot about it. But that's what it is, So I think the lives are a little bit too difficult to do when you're sculpting, unless I don't have to answer. Like I watch a couple guys, and what they do is they have like their wives or they have their friends, and they do they'll read out loud somebody's text message, and I can answer it while I keep my eyes on the project. I tried to do this little thing here and do the lives and look at the screen and listen to, and talk to everybody and then go back and forth with it. But when you start getting blown up with all kinds of text messages where you're getting a lot of people talking to you at once, um, it's really tough to keep up with the text messages and then try to pay attention to what you're doing too. Because I really have to keep my eyes on what I'm doing. I can't just take my eyes. I'm sculpting in 3 dimensions. I'm not sculpting in 2 dimensions like you would do a painting on a surface. When you're doing a paint like a painting, you don't have to worry about any other view except for the view that you're presenting. You don't have to worry about, okay, well, it looks good face on, but how's it look on an angle? How does it look on this angle? How does it look upward? How does it look when you're looking up the mask? All those little things have to work, because otherwise the mask doesn't look accurate. Now this mask looks really, really accurate from all angles now that I have the cheek lines fixed. So I'm really happy with this. I think it's going to be a big seller. I will be selling blanks to probably keep from myself from going nuts, keeping up with a lot of orders. I would recommend reaching out to James Carter if you were to get a blank, and he's probably, I want to say, the best paint and hair guy in the business, but he's not cheap. And I can't talk, I don't quote anybody's pricing. That's something I don't do, but he's not cheap. All right, but he's the best. So if you want a hair and paint, you want to buy a blank, the blank is $250, and I'll send it directly to James Carter, and then you have to work your deal with him. First of all, you'll work your deal with him before I send him the blank, and then I'll send him the blank as soon as he gives me the go-ahead, and then from there, he sends it to you directly. So that's how I'm going to do the blanks. When you buy a finished mask with me, it's going to be, the price range is going to be anywhere from $500 to $600 for this mask, with paint and hair and the whole 9 yards. And some people, they like to get the mask and they want to try it themselves. But I am a real stickler with people doing it themselves if they're not real good artists, because honestly, you really have to know what you're doing when you're painting these masks. You can't just fake it. Yeah, I know Silverado, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm going to say he is the best. I talk to him all the time now. I've reached out to him, and he's really excited to get this mask in his hands. We're working out a deal between us. For one, I want him to paint mine. That's going to be the showpiece to show off on the channel, and that's going to be something that I'll do a paint job on another mask that I do, and I don't try to replicate anybody's work. I do not do that. I will not do that. The colors, pretty much, yeah, you're trying to replicate that original color, but I'm trying not to replicate anybody's technique on how they paint, or, I could look at something and I can pretty much figure out how they do it, but I'm not trying to paint the mask that way. I think James Carter is just untouchable. And even though that I think I know what he's doing, I don't want to do his paint job. I've got my own little technique that I do with my paint jobs and my hair jobs. And I think that each mask will be on its own. Some people will say, well, I really can't afford James Carter. Um, can you paint it? Or they like my paint job, you know. But I won't send a blank for a novice person to just say, well, yeah, I'm going to paint it myself. No, 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 because you got to remember when that mask is done and it looks like crap and you're putting it on Facebook or you're putting it out there and you're making my mask look bad. And that's just the facts. So I will be selling blanks, but your options will be either me or James Carter or maybe somebody else. I don't know. It depends on what James Carter says. James Carter is kind of like one of these guys. If you're working with him, you can only work with him. I think that's how it works. I don't know for sure. I didn't get into the conversation yet completely because I've been so busy with the sculpture. But James Carter, I'm going to say, is the best paint and hair guy in the business. Yes, and I'll tell you right. I'll tell you what it is. You get a mask, and it's really accurate like this, and you send it off to James Carter, and you get it painted by him. You've taken whatever mask that you bought this for. Like I say now, if you bought my mask finished, all right, um, why I say you don't want to buy it finished and then send it off to James Carter because you're going to spend $500 to $600 for me to finish it. Then you're going to have it all torn apart because he's going to go down there, he's going to repaint it and everything. So you're going to spend a lot more money. You will have an option to buy my mask for $250 as a blank, and I will send it directly to James Carter. Now, with that being said, you, I don't even want to I don't even want to guesstimate where he's at. You guys pretty much know how much he costs to do a paint job, but I've seen his masks, and some of them uh, looked bad when he first got them, and then he transformed them into a piece of art. And I've seen some really good masks that sold for upwards to $2,000 on eBay. 1,500. Once it's been painted by James Carter. So your mask is very valuable if he does the paint job on it. So, and if you're in the business of collecting, if you're a real collector, you're going to want the best. And I don't ever, I would never put myself in the category of James Carter. I'm kind of new at it myself. So I'm a good artist, but I have my own unique way of painting this mask. Oh, there it is right there. Now, this is a lightly weathered mask. Now, this is the version 1, but that's the hair job I did to it. And that's the eye cuts are too big. But you can see the yellowing in it, and you can see all the colors and the variations in colors, and the shadows are there, but they're very, very faint and light. Silverado, I just said I'm selling my blanks for $250. This version 2. Version 1, I'm really not doing it unless people actually ask for the mask, and it's going to come down in price. That one there is going to come down significantly in price. I'm saying for that mask, for me to paint it and hair it, you're looking at $350, $3 to $350 instead of $450, $500 I was getting. But it's still a lot of work. I'll spend. Here's the key. I can paint about 4 masks, get them all done as long as I have them all done and lined up outside and get them painted. Well, I have a paint booth that's buried in here right now, so I'll be painting in here, so I don't have to worry about bugs and bullshit in the summer. But anyway, what was I getting ready to say? So I can paint probably I can do 4 masks in a day. All right, and that's just painting. That's not the herring. The herring's another day. So if I can do 4 to 5 masks a day, all right, paint one day and then hair the next, and then have them done, have 5 masks done in 2 days. Um, it's not easy. It's a very tedious thing to paint and hair the masks. You want the details to be just perfect. And I've done it where I've painted it and then, oop, that's a little too heavy or that's a little too light, and then I'll fix it and I'll go over it again. And that's just the way it is. But we have ourselves a, now it looks like it's the head's leaning back, but that's only because the neckline is cut with the slant in it already. So um, I don't know how you're seeing that. But anyway, if I had a still shot, um, like here, see that slant that's in the, and it's, you can't see it, it's underneath the collar, but there's a slant to the neck cut. All right, and that's already in this neck cut. I already sculpted that with the slant in mind. So, but this is the V2 FB78. After seeing more details, I actually have gotten pretty close. So the blanks are 250, and I'm very particular. I don't send them off unless I see your work. Like if you were an artist and I would have to see your work and I would have to know that it was your work, not just send me a random picture of somebody else's paint job. I would have to see you visually painting the mask to send you a blank that I would entrust you to make sure that it was a really nice paint job on your mask. I think I'm going to stick to specific people, mainly James Carter, um, doing my blanks. And there's a couple other people that I may do or may not do, depending on how good they are. That's really the key, because if they're not real good artists, I don't want one of my masks looking like crap, being plastered all over the place. No thanks. Not good for business. So, so that's what it is. James Carter is the guy of all paint. I mean, my masks aren't bad. They're not bad paint jobs, but they're not James Carter. And you know, my mask will probably sell $500-600. Um, I'm really trying to. I'm going to probably price it at $5. That's where I'm going to be with it. Probably like $5, and that'll be on eBay. Going to be test marketing on there. See how the auction goes on it, and probably do that for the summer to see how well it does on eBay. And once I have this in full production, where I don't have to worry about making molds anymore and uh, working on sculpture, and I'm just making masks. What I plan on doing is putting it on a website. I'll be selling on my website instead of on the eBay. You know, but I'm not known yet, so eBay actually helps you get known, and I mean well known. And I think James Carter, we're working something out where he's going to help me with that too. So once he does a couple of my paint jobs on my mask, I think that thing's going to be insanely and then he's going to help promote it for me. You know, just having his paint job on my mask and him showing it off on his channel would be, forget about it. I would instantly probably be swamped. So, and then it'll become, okay, I'll have to see. I'll have to see how it goes. Just got to see. I'm really super enthused. I'm super excited for this sculpture to turn into a mask. I think this thing is really going to be awesome looking. When it's all said and done, it's going to be a really nice mask. My voice is shot. I've been up all day. I got up Sunday night, Sunday morning, Saturday night into Sunday morning. I worked until like 4 o'clock in the morning on the sculpture because I started retooling it right away once I found the problem. Then I went to sleep, got up around 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and went right at it again. Worked on it all day. And then today, I got up at 7 a.m. and didn't stop until I got it finished. But this is it. This is it. See, I'll show you something too, real guys. All right, this is the sculpture. And look at these lips. Look at the lower lip and the way that slant is in the cut and the way the chin looks. Look at mine. Look how close that is. That area there. Try to get the same angle shot. Yeah, like that. Same angle. All right, where'd the picture go? There's the same angle. What do you think? Yeah, baby. I'm excited. I think this is going to really be a big one. This is going to make a lot of money. But I didn't get into this business for fun. I did and I didn't. I'm trying to make a decent buck on this stuff. Anyway, anybody else got anything to say? Because there's only one person watching, and I think I'm getting tired and I'm going to go to bed. All right, guys. I want to say goodnight. Say goodnight, everybody. You know, text goodnight. So I know who's on and who isn't. Remember to hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And you're going to see, I got some other projects that I want to do too. Once I get beyond this Michael Myers stuff, I really want to get into something else that looks really cool that I might be selling. All right, Silverado, good night. Everybody's happy. I think everybody likes what they see here. Yeah, I think we're on the money. I think we got something special here. All right, good night, everybody.